The Meta Quest 3 is Meta's newest and most powerful VR headset to date, but its price tag doesn't really scream general audience friendly. Does the Meta Quest 3S fix that? Probably. And yes, the 3S is different from the 3. Ain't that shocking? Anyhow, I'm Tom and we're gonna be talking about the Meta Quest 3 and the Quest 3S and which exactly is best for you. First off, let's clarify which of the two is superior to the other. The Quest 3 is much better than the Quest 3S, and for many reasons. Now, let's talk about the differences between the two, starting with price. First off, here's a QR code for the Quest 3S, and if we took a look at its price, we can see that the 128GB version costs just $299, $300 for simplicity's sake. There's a 256GB version, but that of course costs more. Moving on, here's a QR code for the Meta Quest 3 and we can see that it costs $500, which is significantly more than the 3S and also for good reason, which we'll talk about ASAP. Alright, let's start off at the very core of these headsets. The Meta Quest 3 and 3S both use the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2, so they both have a powerful processor, which is much more powerful than the previous Quest 2's XR2. Now here's where there's a bigger difference, in the display. While both the Quest 3S and Quest 3 support 72Hz, 90Hz, and 120Hz, their resolutions are significantly different. The Quest 3S has a resolution of 1832 by 1920 pixels per eye. Again, 1832 by 1920 pixels per eye, with 773 pixels per inch. It also makes use of Fresnel lenses. The Quest 3, however, has a resolution of 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye, with 1218 pixels per inch, again 1218 pixels per inch, and it makes use of pancake lenses, which are far superior to that Fresnel lenses. Basically, pancake lenses are much better and clearer than Fresnel lenses. Adjusting the IPD on the Quest 3 is better than adjusting the IPD on the Quest 3S. The Quest 3 allows for finer tuning, while the Quest 3S only has 3 fixed positions. Now, what about field of view? With the Quest 3S, you get 96 degrees horizontally and 90 degrees vertically. The Quest 3, on the other hand, gets you 110 degrees horizontally, which is substantially wider than the Quest 3S, and you have the same 90 degrees vertically. But what about battery life? You thought you wouldn't have to charge this, didn't you? Well, you've gotta, especially if you're not plugging it into a computer. Thankfully, these VR headsets have a pretty respectable battery size, with the Quest 3S having a 4,324 mAh battery, while the Quest 3 has a larger 5,060 mAh battery. It's quite amazing, especially when you realize that the Quest 3 is slimmer than the 3S. One other thing about the Quest 3 is that it has a 3.5mm jack, while the 3S doesn't. Which one is right for you? Well, if you're on a budget and don't need the best of the best, the Quest 3S, that rhymes, is a good option for you. It has the same chipset as the Quest 3, but it has an inferior display, but all of that comes at the good price of just $299. The Quest 3, on the other hand, is marketed towards users who can spend more on a better product. While it does have the same chipset, it has a much better display and some more quality of life features. Once again, here are the QR codes for both the Quest 3S and the Quest 3. I'm Tom and I hope you enjoyed. I'd like to know your opinion, so leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe. I'll see you all next time.